These are National Archery in the School program, NASP Genesis bows. And this little wiry thing is the arrow rest. So I'm going to show you how to remove this archery rest and upgrade it to this, which is, let me see if I can focus this in there for you, which is a Silfray archery rest made in China, sold on Amazon, and they're only, I can't remember, I think they were 11 or 15-ish dollars, somewhere in there, between 10 to 15 bucks. So this is a school set. I'm a phys ed teacher at a school in Prince Edward Island, and I found that the students were having trouble, keeping the arrow on these things. And over time, these little metal, I don't know what you'd call them, I guess, these little wires, they bend down, and then the arrow doesn't stay on there properly. So it's kind of annoying for the students. So I read a bunch of reviews on these things that said, oh, they suck, oh, they're great, oh, they're fantastic, oh, they don't fit, oh, they're... Anyway, so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy them and I'll check it out, and I'll show you step by step how to install this for them to be lined up, and then how you can set them up so that you can properly shoot your arrows. So here's a bow that's already done with the rest installed. So that's what it would look like. All right, so if you look at that, it's perfectly lined up with the string there in the back. Sorry for the books in the background, but I'm just working out of my office today. Got an extra prep time, so I'm taking advantage of it. So yeah, so let me put this on pause. I'll take the packaging out, show you what's in there, and then I'll put it together. All right, be right back. All right, so here's what you get in the package, which comes looking like this. All right, so you get two different sizes Allen keys. One is for this little screw on the end here, and this little screw in the holding bracket. And then you have this big Allen key, and that's for the mounting screw. That'll actually hold all this stuff in place. And so yeah, so I will show you how to set this up first, and then how to adjust it on your bow so that it'll be lined up. I'm going to pause this and I'll be right back. All right, so there's probably multiple ways where you can install this. No instructions comes with the kit. And I couldn't really find anything on Amazon or on the Amazon questions or YouTube to help me out with this. So you kind of just got to troubleshoot it by yourself. But first of all, take this bracket and then hold it this way, so the screw is pointing down, and then you take this bracket so that the opening to the C is kind of facing upwards. Slide that in there like this. All right, and then you can just snug up this little set screw. So I'm going to do that now with this Allen wrench here. So we're just going to tighten this up. And I'm just going to give this one a little tweak too, just to make sure it's tight. So obviously you can see there's lines here, so you can adjust this bracket like on your bow to make sure that everything's lined up. However, on the Genesis bow, on mine anyway, I have to make sure that this is all the way to the arrow rest, because it's not big enough. Like there isn't, the Genesis bow isn't thick enough, the frame, like to allow for any adjustment this way. So you kind of just gotta put it in all the way, and then you'll be kind of fine that way as far as adjustment goes. I'm just gonna slack this off again. I noticed it was a little crooked, so I'm gonna straighten it up and give that a little snug again. And I tend to over tighten stuff, but you don't really have to, kill yourself, but tightening. But all right, so that's what it's going to look like. And now we're going to mount this on the bow. So I'm going to see if I can set up this camera phone in a way that you can see what I'm doing. And then once it's mounted, that's it. It's done. Right back. All right, first thing you're going to do is remove this crappy arrow rest. So all you got to do to take that off is just flip the bow over in the back. You'll see there's where it's pushed in, and it's only like a little push-in arrow rest. So just take one of the little Allen wrenches that's supplied and pop it in the hole here and just push. And that's got to pop right out. So there you go. So I'll put this back up here. So here's what the original arrow rest is going to look like. So you can get rid of that one. And then the new one that we just assembled is going to mount like this. So this piece is going to go on the outside, okay, of the bow, like this. And you will notice where the original arrow rest was in this hole, right next to it there's a threaded hole. So this is going to mount this way, and you can adjust it forward or back to a certain extent, I guess, to a certain degree. And then the bolt is going to go in there. The problem with mounting it this way is, even though that this arrow rest is adjusted all the way inward, it's still totally off. So I don't know if you can't really tell here, but if it still has to go back away from the bow this way, okay? So the best way to do that is get a couple extra washers. Let me get those for you. So this is the washer that comes with the kit, and I just picked up 2 extra washers. If you have like a spacer would be good, but you're going to need about 2 of them, like 2 thick, and then you add the 3rd washer there. So the bolt's going to go on the outside of your arrow rest like this, and then you're going to put the 3 washers on the inside to act like a spacer, and then you're going to mount it to the bow. So I'll do that now. Now these nuts, or these little bolts, are a little hard to start because of the powder coating that's covering the thread. So you kind of got to just work it back and forth to get it started. But then once it's in there, it'll screw in fine. There, got it. You just got to kind of work the powder coat away. And then you grab your bigger Allen key, and that'll just go in the bolt over here, like so, and then just snug it up. Sorry, hard to do with the camera kind of over your shoulder and kind of looking in the screen, not really looking at what you're doing. So yeah, just snug it up. And as it gets nice and snug, you can still adjust it up and down. Just all I do is I line it up sideways to make sure I'm at like a right angle. I push it in as close to the bow as I can. You should have a nice right angle corner with the arrow rest and the bow, or the arrow rest and the bow handle. So once you get that nice 90 degree, just snug it up. I'm not shooting, it's not competition here, it's just, phys ed class, so it's not, for me, it doesn't make a huge difference if it's not perfect, but I just want it lined up. And that's it, we are done. So now you have a perfectly lined up arrow rest with the drawstring at the back. So if you can see that, the drawstring is perfectly lined up once you add those spacers. So the kit's not perfect, but you know what? For the price, these are the cheapest arrow rests I could find. And as well, these brushes, once they get wore, you don't have to change the whole. You don't have to change the whole part. Once these brushes get wore, they have a little Allen wrench at the top here, a little Allen nut. So you take that off, and the brush pops right off, and you can just replace the brushes. So I haven't looked, but I'm assuming there's a brush replacement kit for these. So yeah, so there you have it. That's the the arrow rest from Amazon. Hope that helps. Signing off.